Let's get on to main topic number 4. And our fourth main topic today gets submitted to us by Mee-day, who writes, "Hey, John and co. Reports are saying that it's looking like Sony, not Marvel, is eyeing Keanu Reeves for their Kraven the Hunter spinoff from Spiderman. I love Keanu, but to me, Kraven just doesn't seem to fit his repertoire. Of course, we don't know what the script will look like, but I would rather see him play a Ghost Rider or Silver Surfer-esque character. Although Sony's movies are separate from the MCU as of now, there is always that slight chance that they end up intertwining deeply." All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And yes, I mean, look, we've got, of course, this situation still where Sony has their Spider-Verse, Marvel has the MCU. They're hinting at some intermingling, how much and to which degree and how permanently that is actually going to happen. Like, what does it actually mean to have Michael Keaton in a Morbius trailer and all? I mean, there's a lot of questions in the air. But for now, Sony still makes their Spider-Verse movies, which include Venom and Morbius and Kraven the Hunter and, Silver Sable is coming and Madam Web at some point, apparently. And Marvel has Marvel, and maybe they're going to start intermingling them. A rumor started going around. Now, this is the type of thing I normally won't talk about because there's absolutely no validation to this. There's nothing supporting this and nothing backing it up right now. But I'll tell you why I am bringing it up in just a second. A rumor started going around that Sony has offered Keanu Reeves the role of Kraven the Hunter. In general, I like the idea. I like the idea of Keanu Reeves playing Kraven the Hunter because, just because I think Keanu Reeves is a very gifted actor, a very talented actor. And so if they think the Kraven the Hunter that they're going to put on screen is a good match for Keanu Reeves, great. I'll leave that up to them to decide if the actor and the character are a good fit. All I worry about is it a good actor? And, some people can say I can see him more as a Ghost Rider or as a Silver Surfer. But, I mean, the reality is, for all we know, maybe once we read those scripts, we'll go, oh no, Keanu Reeves would not fit these characters at all. The way these scripts are written wouldn't fit at all. So I just concern myself with whether or not it's a good actor, and I'll leave it up to the studio and the directors and the filmmakers to decide if they think there's a fit. I don't know that I buy into the validity of this. The reason I bring it up is because I did have a phone call yesterday with somebody who did not tell me it was legit, but simply said to me, there's a possibility this could be legit. So I thought, okay, let's at least address this now. Now, it is interesting to point out that, 95 out of every 100 of these types of rumors that get started end up not being true. Let's be clear about that. And this could very well be one of those 95 out of 100 that end up probably not being true. But like I said, I got secondary modest backup to it saying who's somebody in a position telling me there could be some validity to this. So that's why we're talking about it right now. But take everything we talk about here with a giant grain of salt, that there is still a very high probability that this is not true. And a rumor starting saying, it's a very convenient rumor starting saying, oh, Sony has offered the role to Keanu Reeves, but no news if he's accepted it yet or not. The reason that is a very convenient rumor to start is because if it turns out not being true, you have your built-in excuse. Oh, well, we said we didn't know if he accepted it or not. He must have not accepted it.
Yeah.
But whatever. Again, I am hearing that there could be some validity to this. So that's why we're talking about it. So take everything here as a big theoretical discussion, okay? Let's take all of this as a big theoretical discussion. Theoretically, I like the addition. I would like the addition of Keanu Reeves. One, because we've come to know him in an action kind of, right now he's in that place in his career where he's getting in all the action type of stuff he can do. I think he's a very good performer. When he turns on the badassness, and I'm not just talking about the action itself, but in John Wick, when he decides his demeanor becomes, you should be very afraid of me sort of demeanor, he's terrifying. He can really look terrifying. And I think about that being translated into a Kraven the Hunter. Does he have the physique of a Kraven the Hunter? No, but I mean, give him a year with the right horse steroids and the right Hollywood trainers. Hell, get Chris Hemsworth. Pay Chris Hemsworth $1 million to come and work out with with Reeves for a bit, and maybe they could do something there. That's possible too. But I would be down for this, Rob. I would be down for this. It does a couple things. It adds another marquee name to Sony's lineup. I mean, it was a bit of a coup, Rob, when they were doing Venom and they got Tom Holland. That was a bit of a coup. Then when they had Morbius coming and they had Academy Award winner Jared Leto, that was a bit of a coup. If they could now say we've got Kraven coming and we've got Keanu Reeves in the role, that's a bit of a coup. That has a lot of, I don't like using the word gravitas because I think it's overused, but it does. It adds a bit more gravitas to the whole thing, and I would theoretically like it. Again, I have no idea if this is actually legit. It's probably a 95% chance that it's not, but if it does end up being true and real, then I think it would be rather impressive. Rob, you heard about this. Number one, what do you think the chances are this is real? And number two, just theoretically, what would you think of the addition of Keanu Reeves as Kraven the Hunter to this universe?
Well, I mean, this is a story I've wanted to see for a long time. I loved Kraven's Last Hunt. I mean, I love that story. And I think, look, Keanu Reeves has been playing a badass. He's the one. He's John Wick. He's the better half of Bill and Ted, maybe. And he's got a 6-scale Bill and Ted action figure set coming out. So he's done it all. But what he hasn't done is played an epic villain. I mean, when I say epic villain, I mean a truly epic villain. And I think that, Marvel's really good at their casting. And I think plucking Keanu Reeves out of his good boy status as John Wick and turning him into and he's coming back as Neo, as a very, very bad boy is a smart move. And who doesn't want to turn out to see that? I mean, people are going to come just to see Keanu Reeves be a badass and try and kill Spiderman or whatever the hell they're going to do. But I think it sounds good. So I think that why not? I like Fox Mulder, John. I want to believe. But again, this is such a monumentally huge announcement that if it was real right now, I think that, you'd have Paul Revere riding through the streets yelling, Keanu Reeves is coming. Keanu Reeves is coming. And we would know. It would be on Deadline. It would be everywhere. But I think it's probably, pretty good. My fingers are crossed. I think it could be real.
Well, guys, we will find out, but let's put aside the question for a moment on if it's real, because that, of course, is questionable. But let's say in theoretical terms, what would you guys think of a Keanu Reeves taking on the mantle of Kraven the Hunter, joining Tom Hardy as Venom, joining Jared Leto as Morbius, and now Keanu Reeves as Kraven? Dude, I think that creates a rather interesting lineup, don't you think?
Dude, and what if they all team up?
Well, you put them all in one. Can you have Tom Hardy, Jared Leto, Keanu Reeves?
I mean, all against Spider-Man. That blows my mind. It's the Legion of Doom of the Spider-Verse over at Sony.
It could be pretty good. Question is, guys, what do you think about all that? Jump down into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Okay, guys.